They skeeting on the wall.
But explain it to
So
me, Marcus.
AP, I had a whole lot of post nut clarity. I'm not gonna lie.
We know, Marcus. We know.
I was just no, I was saying that.
Mhm.
So, but I think it's something to that, right? That if you build a connection after you have sex with them, then you can continue to have a connection. But I don't think you know exactly how deep that connection is unless you like in love or something before the nut. After the nut come, if you still feel like you want to be around that person, then you can really tell. But I know what you're saying, AP, about you knew beforehand because I kind of did too, right? But I wasn't investing trying to get to know the person to even know if you know what I'm saying. So I get what you're saying, but I think post nut clarity work best before a date. Like if you do it before the date and then go out with them, if you still want to get in your car
I
and go on the date,
see.
yeah.
So post nut
I might
clarity,
not even go on a date then.
I think
Right. If you don't want to go on a date still, yeah.
I
so
see what.
post
Okay.
nut clarity
You know,
means
I still wanted to go on a date because either way, I
the
was. Never mind.
wait, pre-nut. Okay, so you got post nut, let's say pre-nut. So the pre-nut clarity is I think I like her. You're not really sure. So you're thinking that you feeling her. Then you have sex, and then you have post nut clarity where you realize, nah, I really wasn't feeling her. Is that what it is?
You'll so all right, it's men to deal with a lot of stuff, right? But that stuff becomes aggressively more annoying after you nut. That stuff, like you might not want to be around the person, like the stuff that you was willing to deal with before the nut, you're not willing to
So
deal with
that's
after
pre-nut.
until it
Okay.
builds back up. Yeah.
Okay. So prior to, you're saying you put up with stuff because you're, I guess at that point, infatuated with the person, really like the person. But then after
Quit using woman words.
you don't have to like her.
Want to sleep with them. That's the only thing you know.
Oh, okay. So you really want to, so then there is no clarity. Like I guess what AP was saying. There is no post nut clarity because you know that your goal is that you just want to sleep with her. So where's the post nut clarity? I thought that means
After you,
is
after you,
confusion.
after you after you nut, if you give her the opportunity, because a lot of times people don't get them the opportunity after that, it'd be a so what you about to do? You know, that's when people get hit with. So what you about to do after this? Just to like hint that you probably should go or whatever. But I think afterwards you get to assess that person the same way you was assessing them before. So pre-nut, some of the things you might not like, or some of the things you like post-nut, if you still like those things, you really, really like those things.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? It
Mhm.
changes. It's like being high. Like you go from being high and the food is good to not being high. Is the food still good?
Mhm. Got you.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's a good example.
Okay.
Hmm. What if I don't get high? You got to do a better job of explaining. I'm just messing with you,
Um,
Mark. I don't get high, but I'm not. I
But if
would.
you, okay, so if you're starving and the food tastes good, and then if you're not starving, does the food still taste good?
Mhm.
it's like going to a grocery store hungry. That's a great example.
Mhm.
Like you gonna buy everything when you're hungry and you walk in the grocery store, but after you eat and go in there, you shop differently. So it's the same thing. After you nut, you shop differently.
Oh shoot. Oh.
Mm,
Dang. Okay.
mm.
You get that one hit home for you. Now
This
you
was going
understand. Yeah.
over in Publix, I guess.
No, like I used to have food delivered, so I'm trying to picture it.
You stupid. So that's a prostitute. So I guess the delivery.
Jesus Christ!
Postmates.
There's a fun way to say
It must be getting late.
Did you say
Yeah.
Postmates?
Postmates. Hello Fresh. Y'all so silly. Hey, have we ever had a real argument on this show? I can't ever remember
No,
getting
heck
into it
no,
with
because
y'all.
Shan interjects.
I did one time with
Oh yeah, no, nope, nope, never mind. Never mind.
Hold on,
Never mind.
who'd you have an argument
Just
with,
thought
Miss
about it.
Taken?
Never mind. Nobody.
I was
It
gonna say
happens with nobody.
chaotic, but that was the time when we were.
Oh, okay.
That was a long time ago. But now that you brought that up without bringing it up, yes,
Nope. We
I
did.
can
No,
bring it up. I
wait,
can say
what?
it. I can say it.
No, I want no.
It's back chat conversation.
Yeah.
Ah.
I'll remind you. I'm gonna just type it real quick in a back chat.
Good night, everybody. Glad you came.
No, but I love it. I love it when things get heated with Inaz. I've only ever seen it with one other person, but she is the coolest cucumber of the bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I understand what you're saying, but you're absolutely incorrect. Now let's take a look at history.
That was funny.
Like, here we go. This is about to get good. That nigga don't know what he's talking about. That nigga had no clue.
Listen, I don't. That's not a fight. I can debate with people. I don't fight.
No, because they know better. Because what happens after that? Because you never break your femininity is the one thing that's really, 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 really impressive. You never break it, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And for a man, it's very difficult to argue with a female who never breaks her femininity. So if you and I were going back and forth and you were just like, AP, I understand, but unfortunately, and then you start going and I want to go in on you, and I'm like, then I'm gonna sound like a damn bully.
Well,
no, you're wrong.
Have you always?
I can be wrong, and that's okay. But, and that's how you handle it, and it makes it very difficult to just like. I noticed that early on.
Have you always been like that, or that was a skill that you developed?
I don't know, because I think in like my really young years, I was always kind of quieter, even-tempered, and then kind of late teens, early 20s, like at that like rah kind of came out, and I realized like it doesn't work. You don't get heard. You don't get treated respectfully. You don't, and so I just had to shed it. It had to go.
Mm.
Self-reflection.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So since we know that there's PNC, post-nut clarity, is that so now we know there's post-nut clarity, there are low marriage rates. Is it really what am I trying to say? Is it well, I'm trying to figure out the word. It's just one word I'm missing. Is it really not so smart or smart? I don't know which one. Put it in where it goes because I'm tired. But do you think that's the reason why women are requiring so much up front as far as dating is concerned?
They're requiring so much up front because they're giving so much up front. That's the honest truth. If you're going to give me,
because if I think about it, if I go along and let's just say I'm into this guy, right? And I end up sleeping with him. It's hypothetical. I end up sleeping with him a month or two, and he's like, "Oh, post-nut clarity." I'm gonna be hurt, but then I think like, well, it did. I mean, at least I just didn't give it up for the Waffle House, or at least, you even though it's gonna hurt you regardless, you'll start thinking, well, at least I made him, taking me out a couple of times, trying to make you feel a little bit better about the fact that he just literally walked out of your life after he got a nut.
Yeah, there's a profession for that and a solution for that. It's called prostitution. And the men have been saying, because right. I mean, why get some random meals if somebody, not you, but if somebody was gonna make sure they got what they wanted out the deal because they didn't feel they was gonna enjoy themselves sexually and they was trying to make it transactional. They should. Honestly, the way this world is going, I think they should just legalize it. I think that might solve a lot because from a grander scale, looking at the anger that men be having about just not having access to sex and stuff, maybe they should just legalize it or give people who are like involuntarily like dolls or something, because that anger is real, and in men it'll become something eventually. It's not just gonna forever stay dormant where they just mad amongst each other like that. That's a potential. The FBI monitoring it because it's such a potential problem.
I'm curious, and this is kind of open to the panel. So how are men involuntarily celibate? Is it when we're grossly outnumbered by women, and there's like everywhere you blink, there's a woman that would be more than happy to throw it at you. If you say the right words. I don't understand.
You have to have social skills in order to even have access. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have social skills, I think that can be a part of it.
Lower your standard then.
Where there's a fear of women. I can't remember what it's called, but I had just saw that the other day, that it was a guy who stayed in his house. You saw that? He stayed in his house. I can't remember what it's called, but because he feared.
Oh, the African guy.
Yeah, because he feared women. And I do think there are men that are like, maybe not to that degree, but I think where they may get anxiety and things like that when trying to interact with women.
But is that involuntarily? Is that involuntarily celibate, or is that more like a voluntary kind of deal?